What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Pulse, March 20th, 2024. And I'm sorry this is going to be a little more somber of a pulse as we remember our fallen brother, the Young Gun Steven Faison, as we discuss things that we remember from Young Gun and his promo career and his life, as well as talk about our show coming up tomorrow, Lions Roar 3. Others will be joining us here, but right now we're joined by two people. The first one here, a friend, personal friend of the Young Gun Steve Faison. They actually cut a promo together. They knew each other from their time living in Washington, D.C. together. Please welcome him to the show, John. John, thank you, sir.
Thanks.
And new here to Heart and Soul Promotions, but not new to the promo world. Also a friend of the Young Gun Steve Faison. And he wanted to come on here as well and to give his stories and his opinions. Please welcome him, Draven666. Gentlemen, welcome. So I guess, John, let's just, I hate to be the elephant, start off with the elephant in the room, but how are you doing and how are you feeling?
So when we got the word of what happened on Friday, I was at lunch at work and I was just like, I was trying to understand what everybody was talking about in the chat. And then when you and I talked right around that time and you said something about it, I was like trying to, I guess, come to the grasp of what happened. And it's been turbulent since, because it's like I know there are other people like Heathen who's close to him, Purge, Mama Purge, like Steven pretty much touched a lot of people in the promo game. And I was actually honored to be able to meet him when we actually met up in DC and to cut the promo. And so it really, I think we even talked about this, Mayhem. It wasn't going to hit me till today, because it's like normally to this point he would be right there on the screen with us, and I don't know how the Pulse will be the same without him. Since he's come back, he's been the mainstay of the Pulse, and I know how much he did enjoy being on here, being able to talk about whatever match was on screen, set up stuff for the future for against anybody else. And yeah, I'm still trying to come to the reality that he's not going to be here.
Yeah, and old school here, Young Gun was one of a kind, and that is true. He truly loved the promo game, not just Heart and Soul promotion. He loved the promo game. Wherever he went, Foundation World Champion at the time of his passing, which is no small feat. WGP, he held titles. Revolution, he held titles. The BWO, he held titles. Everywhere that man went, he was a champion. And Draven666, I know you knew the Young Gun well. I think I'd seen you promote against him. We're supposed to, so I'd like you to give some thoughts about Young Gun here.
Yeah, since I came back, I faced him a good twice, I think it was. Or we're meant to at least. It was either once I meant to promo against him again, or twice, I'm not sure. But I sort of came back as like just before he came back properly. Like I sort of dabbled for a good year or so, or no, just taking some time. But when I came back, like a lot more full on, he was just coming back. And I remember always seeing his name in all the different landscapes, in all the different feds, in all the different places. We were in quite a few together, and he always made me laugh. He was always active, and it's sort of weird going around certain locker rooms and certain places and dropping a smart comment and not seeing Young Guns witty or daft or silly comment back to whatever's been said. It's just not normal. So it's still kind of a bit weird in a way.
Yeah, but Young Gun, when he first came here the first time at Heart and Soul Promotions, when it was myself and Dr. Quack, the thing he cared about the most, the thing he always wanted to do was be right here on the Pulse. So, John, I agree with you. This is tough for me too because he loved the live aspect of promo, and here he could do that. He was one
Yeah.
of, while he never held the tag title here, and you'll hear the Highway Hellraisers talking about developing the tag team division here. Young Gun was a big part of it as well. And he really enjoyed this part. And in dedication, you always know I do a final thought. I ask everybody for their final thoughts. We're going to change that now in honor of Young Gun because he loved the Pulse. And from what little I do know him, I don't think he'd want the name of it changed, but I think he'd want some kind of honor. So it'll be the Final Shots because he's the last shooter. So the Final Shots will be the new final segment to close out our show. And I want to go next now into this, John. And we were supposed to have a tag team match, the Highway Hellraisers versus the Cartel. All four members came to management and said they doesn't feel right being in the main event. They said Young Gun should be in the main event. What's your thoughts? Understandable.
I agree. And I know they're not the only ones that believe that it wasn't right to do a promo for the show. It's like I said, he's meant so much to a lot of us, and the Hellraisers, whatever they end up saying, no one knows what. No one's gonna know what they're gonna end up saying, but yet he was one of the key aspects to the live match or doing anything live. He knew how to come up with stuff on his mind real quick, and I like I respect I respect the tag team's decisions to hold off on the match. Um, I'm not gonna even make it a secret. You're gonna see a video from me tomorrow where I talk about I'm not fighting. I choose not to compete. Yes, it was supposed to be the villain's grand return to being back to a full-time competitor, but I don't even have it in me to compete.
And that's quite understandable.
So I can understand it from their end.
All right. And before we go to you, Draven, I want to bring another man on here who was great friends with the Young Gun. And in fact, he unfortunately had to be the one to break it to us in our locker room, our chat, telling us that we had lost the Young Gun Steven Faison. Please welcome to the show the newcomer here, Bronx Bomber. Sir, thank you for joining us.
Hi, guys.
So we'll come to you in a moment, Bronx. Draven, your thoughts on the tag teams giving Young Gun's memory and the tribute to him the main event.
If I was in that position, I would have done the exact same thing. I'm just glad I'm not on tomorrow's show because I genuinely don't think, as much as I think he'd want us to go on and he calls us all stupid for even considering backing out, because of who he was, I still don't think I could have mentally have carried on, even if he would have roasted us all for even thinking about pulling out or not competing.
All right. And Bronx, you're about to make your debut. Unfortunately, we're glad to have you here in Heart and Soul, but it's such a tragic time across the promo world for you as well as the entire promo world. But what I know you've been watching our product and you're familiar with us by our alliance with Defiance, where you're a part owner of Defiance. So, what's your thoughts on the Highway Hellraisers and the cartel honoring Young Gun in this way?
Well, before I get to that, I just want to say a couple of words because there's been a lot of tribute shows out there from BWO, WGP, like a whole stream of just feds, and they asked for videos, and I haven't gave a video not because I don't care. I haven't gave a video because I haven't found the words to say on camera of how I feel about Steven and what happened and everything. And this morning I woke up and I made a decision that if there was going to be a show today or tomorrow of Pulse, since Young Gun was a regular here, I was going to come on and say my first words. And it's been really hard because, you know, when you meet somebody in this hobby and you get past just talking to when you get past talking about just EFED and the hobby that we do, and you start really learning about the person, you really create a bond. And that's what happened with Steven. And you know, playing Fortnite, us winning games in Fortnite, just talking about life, talking about the game. Like I told everybody in the chat, one of the last conversations I had with him, we were talking about after he tries to get the Soulfire to try to form a tag team in HSP because he wanted to dominate, and we always wanted to be in a team together. So it was kind of tragic that all this happened, man. And if everybody needs to know, man, he was a good guy, man. Like for real. He was a good guy, and I'm so happy that all the tag teams in the main event decided to push their match and honor Steven. That shows the type of characters you guys have. That shows the heart and everything, man. I really appreciate everybody, man. Everybody showing love, and I think that if I could be transparent with you guys, there was a lot of tension, a lot of drama before Steven passed, with a whole bunch of other stuff that will not be mentioned. But I feel like this is going to be the change that this community needs, so we could all be together, all treat each other, and just be one promo community, you know, just loving each other and just loving the art that we do, because this is an art that we do. We wake up every day, deal with our personal lives, and then when we come home, we get to turn on this camera and do something that we love. And you know, a lot of people, they need to you know, realize that all of us are not even, like, we don't know when our time is, man. We don't know, so we got to appreciate each other now. And I appreciate you, Mr. Michael. I appreciate you, Draven, and I definitely appreciate you, John, man. And let's just live it up for Young Gun. I'm smoking some weed for Young Gun, so let's do it up, man.
All right, there we go. So we'll have more discussions to talk about Young Gun, but since Bronx Bomber is here, I want to start with you on this. We've recently announced that you are making your debut against someone who called you out. The reason you actually made your way over here, Sergeant Havoc. So I'd like your thoughts on your competition here, what you think of Heart and Soul as you're coming in, and your thoughts of facing Sergeant Havoc.
Well, you know, there's a lot of if I could get into character now, you see, there's a lot of people on social media talking about that I'm coming to defend Candace with honor. That's not what's happening here, man. I'm coming to this match because, as you guys seen, Sergeant Havoc was flapping his gums, thinking that he's better than the Bronx Bomber. And I understand that, you know, he got a little heavyweight title, Revolution, and I guess another title somewhere else. That doesn't stop the ass whooping that I'm going to give him tomorrow. And that doesn't stop anything of how I see Sergeant Havoc. But the match, it should be a good match, man. Sergeant Havoc, man, He's a guy that I've seen at his worst, and he's a guy that I've seen at his best. It all depends on what Sergeant Havoc shows up tomorrow night.
That's true.
So,
and before we move to Draven 666, I want to allow him on here. He wanted to say a few words because he was the one that when it came time to start recruiting new members, this is one of the first people he suggested. So I want to welcome him to the show so he can give his thoughts. Please welcome him, the former president of Heart and Soul Promotions, Dr. Quack.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
So before we move on to the Bronx Bomber versus Sergeant Havoc, we'll give you a chance. Your thoughts on the tragic passing of Young Gun and what he meant to the promo world in general.
Well, when I first discovered Young Gun, that was with Mr. Wallace. We were looking for tag teams on the inaugural tag team tournament, and
Dr. Quack is frozen, so we will move on to Draven talking about Bronx Bomber versus Sergeant Havoc while we wait for. Oh, Dr. Quack is back.
Oh.
Maybe not. We apologize for the technical issues. It is StreamYard. Draven, Bronx Bomber versus Sergeant Havoc. What's your thoughts on this?
I've seen more in action of Sergeant Havoc, but he has a habit of having 3 or 4 great matches, and then he has 2 okay matches. So if he's ran his good match tally out, Bronx Bomber is gonna absolutely annihilate him without even thinking about it. If he brings Rev World Champion Sergeant Havoc, he might put up a good fight, but that is all depending on his mood tomorrow night.
All righty. So, Dr. Quack, you're back here. You're going to give us some echo.
Okay, you hear me now?
I can hear you. But you
Okay.
got an echo. Here.
Oh, shit. Do you want me to lock out and lock back in?
Yeah, give that a try.
All right.
All right. Well, he's coming back on. Please welcome him to the show. Former Soulfire champion, somebody who said he would love to face the Young Gun. Unfortunately, he never got that chance. Please welcome him, Johnny Blade. Sir, welcome to the show. So we're kind of giving everybody a chance when they come on. I know you didn't know him very well, but you've been a fan of Heart and Soul Promotions for a long time, and you've been watching and observing before you made the transition of being a professional wrestler and promo artist. What's your thoughts on the Young Gun?
Man, I really like Young Gun. We the only time we ever spoke on Messenger, it was a couple of nights before that tragic event happened, and it was cool, man. I mean, he was we talked for a good 20 minutes on Messenger, and I mean, I could just tell, you can tell when you talk to somebody how, genuine of a guy they are and whatnot. And I could just tell he is. And I don't know him well enough to go on and on about him. But, my condolences to all you guys that were friends with him and to all his family, of course. He's 100% definitely going to be missed. So, and yeah, we both wanted a match with each other, because we're really close in the these rankings that would come out. I don't take too much stock into those, but they're fun. And that was one of the things we talked about. We couldn't wait to face each other. And yeah, he's definitely going to be missed, man. Young Gun was something else. He was one of a kind, like Old School said.
All right. So, Dr. Quack, I'm going to bring you back on here. You still got the echo, but I'm going to bring you back on. So go ahead and please continue your thoughts.
Looking for tag teams in the tag team division inaugural tournament. And, I was doing a lot of scouting and I was watching a lot of FTW, and this is where I got to see, him come out there along with Mr. Wallace, coming out there, Era of Reality. And I just, I was like, I got to go talk to these guys. And I did. And, it led to them coming here. I mean, Young Gun has always been a thing for a live. He loves the live aspect. That was a great thing, with him competing. The big thing I noticed, of course, we always had those troubles with the cell phone battery. Those were the matches. It happens. It made it real life. And I mean, Young Gun was a good friend. He was someone you could talk to. If you had an issue, he would listen. Um, Took him on in one match over in WGP. That was a really fun match for both of us. We kind of enjoyed it. Um, just in general, he was a great competitor. Wherever he went, he always had fun. We always got to talk about old school TV shows and stuff like that because that's what we always like to watch, man. He had an old soul, and we would talk about things like that. But yeah, he will truly be missed. Just I've seen a lot of dedication shows to him, and they've all been great. It's been a great thing just to see the positivity come out of the promo world with this. It's sad, with his death, but the celebration makes it great.
All right. So Johnny Blade, we were talking about. Let me quack here for a second. We were talking about Bronx Bomber making his debut here against Sergeant Havoc. I don't know how familiar you are with Bronx Bomber, but he's put a couple of pretty interesting hypes out there. I know you've watched Sergeant Havoc's work. What's your thoughts on this match?
Well, I'll say this: Sergeant Havoc has improved. I've faced him before. He's improved a little bit over the last few months, and Bronx Bomber looks like he's ready to go too. Sergeant Havoc. It's funny. I giggle because it seems like he faces all the people making their debuts. We'll see. He's got a pretty good record in those matches, but he's probably due to slip up in one. So I've seen a little bit of the Bronx Bombers work. So I don't want to sit here and talk about him like he's not here. I'm gonna go with you, Bomber, to win the match. I think it's gonna be close, but 2-1, Bomber in that match.
All right, and by the way, Sergeant Havoc is 4-0 in debut matches where people make their debut, to include his own.
Ooh.
So he is a force as being the unfortunate welcome wagon. John, I know you're struggling a little bit, but do you feel up to discussing this, or are you just soaking in the atmosphere?
So, obviously not being villain today, so I will say this. If, yes, 4-0 in debut matches for whether it's his opponent to himself, at some point, all good things have to come to an end. And as Draven said, he has seen him from his worst to his best, and I have seen literally the fall and the rise of Sergeant Havoc, and if Bomber does what Bomber has done in his hypes, I find it hard for Havoc to beat him.
All righty, and without a doubt, Candace Wolf has the Bronx Bomber winning this.
Of course she does.
Of course she does.
Of course she does. Exactly.
But I'll just say this: if she did not, somebody's sleeping on the couch tonight.
Fair.
Yeah.
Oh my
Dr.
God.
Quack, you've seen him when he was Sergeant Chaos. Now he's Sergeant Havoc. You were high on him when we decided to bring him in. What's your thoughts? Sergeant Havoc versus the Bronx Bomber.
I think this will be a good match. I mean, Sergeant Havoc, he's improved. He has definitely improved. But I'm going to go with Bronx Bomber on this. I just think that's going to be the smarter move here. If you're a betting man, if you're going on Promo Vegas, I think that's the money to take. The biggest thing, like I said, I think last week was, as long as he can control it and not get over emotional in this promo, I think he will have this match because Sergeant Havoc generally cuts his standard promo. I had him on last night, was talking to him. He's got a lot of matches this week that are definitely impactful, including for his championship. I think this is going to be tough for him, and I think Bronx Bomber is going to come out here and end that 4-0 streak. Going to be 4-1.
All righty. So let's talk about
Hey,
another
wait,
match
hey,
here.
hey,
Go ahead, Bronx.
may I say something real quick? So I know
Of course.
everybody's picking Sergeant Havoc to win, but on the real, good luck to you,
I did.
Sergeant Havoc. I hope you bring the stuff, and I hope that what you said in your hype comes to life, and you do show me a different side of Sergeant Havoc. So that's all I gotta say, man.
I'll be
Actually,
right back,
most
guys.
people did pick you.
Hey,
There were a few that
Bomber.
picked Havoc, but some of them picked you. So
I
let's
was gonna
talk
say,
about it. Since she was on here and she
Bomber.
chimed in, I'll remind everybody
What's up?
what she said, that she's supporting her fiance, the Bronx Bomber. Let's talk about Candace Wolf and Prince Blackheart. So, Draven, let's start with this. Your tag team partner is in this match against Candace Wolf. What's your thoughts?
Correct. I've seen what both of them have been doing on hypes. I saw Candice last week. I think she's going to cause problems from a tag partner. Yes. Do I think she's going to beat him? Probably not just by a couple of points. As in by a slim margin. I think he gets it just.
All right. And
We have been
Bill?
speaking quite a bit, so yeah.
All right. So, John, your thoughts on this one? I know you were kind of impressed with Candace Wolf in her debut. She's not the typical female promo artist. She came out attacking, which is kind of a rarity. And you made some comments about that. So, what's your thoughts on Blackheart versus Candace Wolf?
So I agree. The whole aspect of her attacking the opponent, that's not really what you get with, like, say, a Mama Purge. Mama Purge just wants to get there and get in pretty much psychological to you. And it's refreshing to see another aspect of a promo. And you got Prince Blackheart, that's slow, methodical, gonna pretty much slow things down to the point where, as when I'm playing my villain character, I always talk about how I'm gonna go take a nap, and by the time I wake up, he's gonna be halfway through his promo. So I don't think he can handle that um attack. I think it's gonna be one of those where Blackheart might have a little issue with it, and so we might have a power couple here because I can't believe I'm picking them both.
All righty. And Johnny Blade, he's joining us now because he's taking care of some other things off camera. So, Johnny Blade, what's your thoughts on this? Prince Blackheart is one of only two people in HSP who has defeated you, taking on Candace Wolf. Looks like Johnny Blade is stepped away for a second. So, Bronx, I'm not going to make you choose between your fiance and Prince Blackheart, but I want your thoughts on how
That's seriously couch.
you've been helping guide her and mold her, because you have far more time in the promo game than she does. What are some of the tips that you've been doing to help her prepare for somebody like Prince Blackheart or any other person she will face here in Heart and Soul?
Well, I do want to comment on the match though, because I'm not afraid to sleep on the couch. My Xbox is down there, so
Fair enough.
You see. My question for you was going to be, what is Blackheart's way to win? What's his key to victories over her?
Well, it all depends on what version of Candace Wolf comes out, man. Because as you guys seen, she's still trying to develop out that storyline competition where they talk about being in the ring and doing this and doing that in the ring. She really hasn't changed that about her, and that's one thing that we are working on her with, to be more gritty, to be more, in depth. Not to give too much away, but she is, she is from the country, and you know how country people are. They gritty, they don't care. So I told her, try to take that aspect of your life and bring it into character. If Blackheart comes the way I seen him come in some matches where he won, then to be honest, Candace is in trouble. But I feel like Candace is ready. She understood what you guys said, your feedback. She took everything in. She's not a type of person that's a sore loser or anything like that. So it all depends on who wants it more. I feel like Candace wants a little more, but Blackheart, he's not somebody to just push to the side. And I'm glad that she's doing this with me. She used to watch me do promos and do everything. And I taught her and I bring her in and, the rest is history. We still working, guys, baby steps, still working.
It's all good. All steps forward are the right steps.
Can I just say
Johnny
something
Blade,
real quick?
Candace Wolf and Prince Blackheart. As I mentioned, you had stepped away for a moment. One of only two people who's defeated you here in Heart and Soul Promotions against Candace Wolf. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I appreciate you rubbing that in. Well, I mean,
It fires you up every time I say it.
I want to match with you right now. I mean,
we've already had that. I didn't win.
Can we book it again?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I
know the
look,
booker.
Candace Wolf. I liked what I saw, and like Bronx Bomber said, they're working with her. Like if he's working with her, and she's just gonna get better. I mean, she's gonna do what Purge and Havoc and all them people did in the last few months. She's just gonna get better and better and better. I have just for my mentality, I need to pick Blackheart because he beat me. That's my only reasoning behind this. So that I think it's going to be close, and I think Candace Wolf could win. So if she does beat Blackheart, I may want to match with her. Hell, I want to match with everybody.
So Johnny, if she beats him, does that mean we need to start? Do we need to give her a match versus you to see who can win?
Or maybe reevaluate my promo career, but we'll figure that out, I guess. Winner if that happens. She could win too. I wouldn't be surprised.
She definitely could. So
hey, think about it, ma'am. Think about it this way: a couple that promos together stays together. So,
that's awesome.
True.
That's awesome. True. Yeah,
you got that right.
That's true. And so this match we didn't get to talk about last week, so we'll talk about it this time a little bit.
Yeah.
Is it because he's on screen?
Right.
Is it because he's on screen that you finally want to bring it up?
He never wants to talk about my matches, does he?
No, I always do. Johnny Blade versus The Purge. This was Johnny Blade's debut in Heart and Soul Promotion, and in the promo world was against The Purge. And Johnny Blade is 1-0 versus The Purge. So, John, we'll let you start off talking about this one.
Hey, Johnny, do you want me to be John on this one or villain on this one?
I don't care. I want your honest opinion so I can prove it wrong.
Honest opinion. I see Johnny Blade going 2-0. If anybody knows the villain character hates The Purge. He thinks that The Purge shouldn't even be a promo artist here in the HSP or in the promo game at all. But you know what? Both are great competitors. It's going to be a good fight, but I'm still taking Johnny Blade to go 2-0 against The Purge.
All right. Bronx, Johnny Blade, as by the same token, you haven't seen much of Johnny Blade, but I know you're familiar with The Purge. So what's your thoughts? Johnny Blade versus The Purge. Oh, we got you muted. Oh, you muted yourself, so you got to unmute. You have to unmute.
Wow, Brock's Bomber censored himself.
So sorry, guys. So sorry about that.
Okay.
I have seen some of Johnny Blade's work, man. When I got into HSP, I looked at basically like 3 months back of promos of everybody that's here, and I come prepared. I like what Johnny Blade has to bring. I like the way he puts his promos together and stuff like that. Purge, I knew Purge for a long time, all the way back when we was on TikTok. I know Purge for a long time, man. I think I'm gonna pick Johnny Blade on this one because Purge, I feel like he's like a Sergeant Havoc. It depends on what Purge shows up, man. Because sometimes we get promos from Purge that we really don't understand the story he's trying to tell. But then we get, Purge that he's just telling a brilliant story and you can understand everything and he's making sense. And yeah, man. But I got Johnny Blade winning this one, man.
Hey,
Alrighty.
Bronx. We don't need to know
What's
what
up?
you and Purge were doing on TikTok, okay? We don't need to know about those dirty dances.
All right. So, Draven, what's your thoughts on this one? Purge, your fellow European brother, against Johnny Blade.
Do I really have to talk about Purge?
No, because
We know
you're British and
we
he's
know you're
German.
best
You can
friends. Come on,
make
talk
fun of
about
him.
him.
I'm indifferent to him. Johnny Blade is hopefully gonna wipe that smug smile and that stupid grin clean off his face. So yeah.
Hey,
There
Draven,
you go.
we know you and Purge hold hands frolicking through the flowers of Dusseldorf. Don't worry, we know that.
Yeah.
uh,
Totally.
there you go. So, John, what's your thought? Oh, we already did your thoughts on this one. So,
I can give my thoughts again.
no,
His,
I apologize. So,
Here we go. Another one. Purge's best promo was him just doing all German. That was it. That was his best promo. And how
there
long
you
ago was
go.
that?
So now, Johnny Blade, your thoughts on this one? Yourself versus the Purge.
What?
The wrestler versus wrestler was the first debut. Now it's the number one contender versus the number one contender. Your thoughts?
Talking to me?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Well, my thoughts is I'm going to win. I mean, I defeated him very handily last time, and it may not be as close this time, but there's nothing more I can say. I'm going to win this and then go on to win the Soulfire title for the second time.
Hey, Johnny, I got
There you
another
go.
question. I got a follow up for you on that one.
Hold
What
that thought, man.
are
I'm getting called again. Hold that thought. I'll be back.
All right. Sorry, it looks like he's at work. So now it's time to talk about the match we didn't discuss last time. Mama Purge is coming on. Please welcome her to the show. Mama Purge joining us audio. Welcome, Mama Purge.
Hello, guys.
really
Well,
we needed
John,
a we really
I
needed
just heard you. They're talking about the purge, right? I mean, you better get in gears now and put out on, some intensity because I'm going to whoop your ass on Thursday. I hope you will be aware of it, right? And you got your duct tapes ready, right? Because you always say you can beat us with your duct tapes on. So I hope you got them ready, right?
obviously Mama Purge, obviously you haven't heard what I said before the show, so or during at the beginning of the show. I'm
Yeah.
not really competing tomorrow. You're gonna get the win. Yay. Woohoo.
Oh, do I?
Do we
Oh,
need to throw off some party crackers?
all right. Okay. So do you just unmotivated like all the time you are? You're not even giving me a proper promo. This is
Eh,
bloody fucking disrespectful. That is. Bloody hell. Oh
Personal
God.
life took over.
Oh God. How can I get into that? For real. That's disrespectful. If you can't even cut a proper promo, leave.
It,
Wow.
I'm sorry for that.
No, there's
You
no
drew the
sorry.
short
This
end
is
of it.
no, this is disrespectful. If you can't cut a proper promo, why are you doing promoing at all? Then you should have,
When
said, let's.
Mama Purge, just learn when tragedy strikes, and hopefully it doesn't for you. But when tragedy strikes, if you don't have the motivation to do it, you have
Well,
to take the countermeasures for it. You're
well,
lucky that I
excuse
even
me.
gave a video to begin with.
Well, excuse me. I mean, Young Gun was a good friend of mine also, and you will see that tomorrow. And I love that boy like it was my own because I got to know him the last couple of 3 months we've been together, playing Fortnite and all the rest of it. He's just been, we just met his girlfriend also. So that got me attached to him. So it's not just you, but you want to know something what Young Gun would have said? Let's keep that show going, guys.
All right. Well, we don't want to get too fired up here, but let's talk about the one match that we haven't talked about yet. Mr. Wallace in a non-title match, something he absolutely hates, taking on Half Past Black. Draven, we'll start with you on this
I've seen a lot more of Wallace than I ever have past Black. And what I've seen of Wallace, he wins this hands down twice on Tuesday.
All righty. Mama Purge, your thoughts. Mr. Wallace and Half Past Black.
Yeah, of course I'm going to go with Mr. Wallace.
All righty. John, you have a thought on this one?
So this one's going to be very interesting just because what version of Half Past Black are you going to get? Are you going to get the guy that just half-ass efforts his promos, or is he going to be the guy that sits there and gives everything he has? Because if he gives everything he has, I could see him being right up there with Mr. Wallace. But as of late, like, where's his best friend? His best friend who just got up and deserted us. Like, how's he going to react to that? So it's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to take Wallace because I think Wallace has his mind purely set on the match, where Half Past Black, his mind is somewhere else.
All righty. And Bronx, your thoughts on Half Past Black taking on our Pure Heart champion, Mr. Wallace, in a non-title match?
I'm not too familiar with the other gentlemen in this match, but if you're facing Mr. Wallace, as I have faced Mr. Wallace, you got to come prepared because Mr. Wallace is not anybody to mess with. Obviously, everybody knows that in this panel right now. Everybody knows that across the promo verse. So in order for Half Past Black to win, he has to really, really bring it and really show that emotion and make the judges believe everything he's saying in order to beat Mr. Wallace. I'm not going to sit here and say that Mr. Wallace is invincible because anybody is beatable any day of the week. It all depends on how you play it. But in this match, I do have Mr. Wallace winning only because I haven't really seen a lot of the other guy. But I hope that when I see tomorrow, I hope that he brings it, man, because I'm definitely going to be watching afterwards.
All righty. And Johnny Blade, your thoughts on this one?
Mr. Wallace and Half Past Black, that's going to be a lot closer than people think. I've faced both these guys before, so it's going to be close. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to probably be the only one to pick this. I'm picking the upset. I'm going Half Past Black for the win.
Interesting.
He
Alrighty.
beat me. I beat Mr. Wallace, so
Yeah.
No, it's not always work, but
it is what it is. But it's time to go now into our new segment, the final shots. This is your time to say anything you want. If you want one more last word in the memory of the Young Gun, or if you want to talk about your match, this is your time to say your piece. Draven, we'll start with you.
So I kind of want to take this time to, obviously, Young Gun is going to be extremely missed. This is going to be weird going forward without him 100%. It's been weird as shit today as it is. But yeah, obviously, me and my tag partners send our condolences and to his family, and we hope that they get some peace shortly and become at peace with the horrible, horrible tragedy, and obviously some justice become served.
All right. Mama Purge, your final shots.
Well, Young Gun, he was one of a kind. And he will be really, really be missed. And I'm really heartbroken over that because, like I said before, he became very close to us the last couple of months. And the only thing I've got to say is now, target, set, bang. Rest in peace, Young Gun. Love ya.
All right. Bronx Bomber.
Obviously, Steven, I love you. I hope you're cutting promos on every jabroni up in heaven. And Sergeant Havoc, I don't know why you called me out. You should never did that. But I guess it's a good thing for HSP because now I'm here. And I'm looking forward to what HSP has to bring to me. Thank you for bringing me in. Thank everybody for supporting me. And hopefully this ride continues, man. Also, make sure you guys follow Defiance page. Make sure you go put it on in your Facebook search bar, man. And yeah, man.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome, John. Final shot.
All right. So I apologize if I upset Mama Purge for taking a personal choice of not being partaking into the show. It was a personal choice of mine because of what's been going on, and I felt like it was for me the best option available. So my debut back into promoing will be the next show. Now for the Young Gun aspect to it, I miss my brother every day. And I'm probably this isn't the last I'm going to talk because I'll be on tomorrow night with you guys, chatting from the press box area. But I miss him so much. It felt like it was yesterday that we met up and just talked about promos, life, like how we were doing things, and just like talking about all the different things that we were going to do, whether it was in the promo verse or in real life. And it sucks that when we talked, one of the last conversations we had was I was gonna be going back out to DC in sometime in June, and we were gonna meet up, and go do stuff, whether it was go watch a game or just hang out. And it sucks that I'm not gonna be able to see him out there because it was like one of the biggest joys that knowing that he was not only back here but also like when he left HSP for a while. It was like I lost a little bit of stuff because he was like one of the people I would always bounce my ideas from, and it kind of sucks because he's not there to listen to it all. And I know he's looking up, well, not looking up, he's looking down at me right now and pretty much gonna probably be upset at me for not doing the promo tomorrow. But I promise that he will not be disappointed when I do put another promo on screen. So all I can say is for the final one, I wish you guys could see me right now in this one because it's how he always would end the show. Bang.
All right. Johnny Blade, your final thoughts.
Yeah, let's all go out to hopefully tomorrow, Lions War 3. Let's all go out there and kick ass for Young Gun, and because I know he wanted to be a part of this, and so let's just go out and all kick ass together and put on a hell of a show. And that includes me beating the hell out of Purge for the second time. That's what I'm going to do. And good luck to everybody. And Villain, what were you going to ask me earlier? You remember?
I was gonna ask you what is the key to victory for Purge to beat you, but that's like slim to none. So
well, I don't think there's a key to fit that lock. So.
All righty. And he's joining us here. You wanted to come on and say just a couple of words before we close out the show. Please welcome to the show, Jacob Black.
Hello.
Sir, unfortunately, we're going into the end, but I know you want to say something about the Young Gun, so your final shots about the Young Gun Steve Faison.
Now, a little bit of the fourth wall breaking, but I don't care. Normally, this would have been the time where I would have been in character and stuff, but me and Young Gun were building something very special. I was planning on seeing what I could learn from him because I was always taught iron sharpens iron. In order to go out there and learn, you gotta go up against people you can't beat. That's how I learned. I mean, and win, lose, or draw, Young Gun, last shooter, it's for you, buddy. Much love, man. Never got the chance to work with you, but tomorrow, this show is for you, man.
That's right. So you'll join us tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m.
I'm out,
Central,
guys.
right here on the Heart and Soul Promotion Facebook page, where you're going to see all these great people here on the screen. They're going to be doing their tributes to the Young Gun. Well, they're also performing. Did you have something, Bronx?
Nah, I was just
Okay.
throwing up gang signs.
Okay. So you're going to tomorrow. These guys are going to be throwing out their remembrances of Young Gun as well as competing against each other, because we all agree the Young Gun would want to see us perform out there and putting on a great show. Tomorrow, we've got some people that have turned in videos and tributes to the Young Gun. We're going to air all of those, and that's going to be our main event. So we'll see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, right here on the Heart and Soul Promotion Facebook page for Lions Roar 3. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna go sleep on the couch.